Hello, hello. Just getting set up. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Where is my chat window? Okay. So today, I have put together some things to try. Specifically, I uploaded a bunch of my tracks that I produced like over the last couple years, and the goal is to test it out and see how I can connect these tracks together. Where the fuck is my chat? Where is my... Man, I am slightly rusty on this whole streaming thing. Chat app, there we go. Oops. Okay. So yeah, so the goal is to put together a set that I can DJ with, and I got inspired because I ran into Edit from Glitch Mob at this show downtown, and he's seen the videos. He's seen Office Hours, and I watched him perform, and it was like everything was kind of boiled down to exactly what he needed, and so I got inspired to try something like that for myself. And so what I've done so far is set up banks for each of my tracks, and I've sort of borrowed some of what I saw him do, which was basically have the track itself loaded on a one shot on each bank. So, you know, kind of like what I've talked about in the past, where I just have one track per bank. So like, let's say we have this one. Arm the track every time you want to play it. And then if you go to the next bank, now we're in bank 2. And if I want to switch to the next song, I would arm it again. And, you know, keeping in mind nowadays that the pattern per bank, or the tempo per pattern is now set, so... Oops, hold on. And what is this one? Yeah, so at the moment I have them basically set to just be going up by tempo. And I just check this out. Yeah, and so what this also lets me do is set it so that I have the same lets me set up pickups so that even if it starts on the 1, I can put this in the second bar, and now I'm sort of like, I can add. And the eventual goal here is to basically set up my patterns so that, hey, Bernard, welcome. So the eventual goal is to set it up so that each bank, each track has its own set of customized things. And the way I saw Edit do this was he has one bank per song, so he doesn't have to worry about running out of parts. And in fact, he only uses one pattern per song. So with each of them set up in his banks, he'll just go to like bank 1, and then he'll launch his track.
Every time I see you, got me wondering how we met before. Not just in this life, bigger than all we've ever known. Baby, you've got me feeling like I'm losing my mind. Just want a chance to figure it out. All we need is time.
And my goal was to basically just set up each of these with their own preset instruments and samples and stuff, so that if I do want to add like a breakbeat, for example, I can have that. So like, for example, this track is kind of breakbeat ready. So if I wanted to use that as a break, I can crossfade it in the beat. This destiny is mine. So this song is actually out already. I should send a link so that you can check it out. It's a remix I did for my friend Polar Tropica. Basically, I have all these songs that I wish people heard more, so I decided I should just do DJ sets and play them. Especially ones that I like haven't even released. So the thing I would add is just like, let's see if I can get this to even see. The things I would add would just be like Minitaur bass lines, samples, things like that. So I'm gonna try that out and see if I can get this to play. Not sure why it's not playing. Hold on. Oh, there's no trig yet. Yeah, so I'm kind of coming up with something that works with the whole song. Give me a sec. Hello, Rustic. Welcome. Welcome, people. Yeah, so if you're joining now, I'm basically putting together a set with songs that I've made and finding ways to build out from those songs while also trying to minimize going back into my projects and exporting stems. You know, eventually I might need to do that, but I'm just trying to see how much I can get out of just having the song and building on top of it and using effects to kind of give myself ways to perform it. Part of that is because that's usually what I end up doing, and I don't really plan ahead all that much, and maybe I should, but for now we're just going to see how far we can get with just effects and filtering and things like that. Like one thing that I'm already kind of excited about is just if I did bring, for example, my analog heat in this reverb pedal, there's a really easy way to just perform like
Every time I see you, got me wondering how we met before. Not just in this life, bigger than all we've ever known. Baby, you got me feeling like I'm losing my mind. Just want a chance to figure it out. All we need is time.
so this is something I can kind of practice performing in that way.
Things I hear inside, like I've heard it all before. Somewhere in a dream, something I have always known. Deja vu, this take a incident and not the law. Still can't shake this feeling that I've known you once
I like the way this sounds. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is try LFOing a square wave for these three notes that is going to shift octaves. And then I'm gonna set it to every trig, it's gonna switch. But I'm only going to turn it on these three notes, I think. So this will stay off. LFO 3. Is this even doing something? It might not be. You know what? It's because it's triggering that every single time. So what I need to do is set it to like free. I mean, that's kind of sick anyway. Completely unintentional. It's because my depth is at 12, so what it's actually doing is going between 6 steps below and 6 steps above. So what I could do is move this up, transpose this up, or down 6, because that would give me the octaves that I'm looking for, and it would give I'm getting A, which means 2, 5 up. Actually, I think I was fine. Sounds like Daniel Avery or something, which is something I want. So, and the good news about doing something like this, there's a good thing and there's a bad thing. The good thing is that I don't have to worry too much about transferring these same things over to the next bank. The bad news is if I do have certain scenes that I like, I have to copy them painstakingly over. So let's try this.
Every time I see you, got me wondering how we met before. Not just in this life, bigger than all we've ever known. Baby, you've got me feeling like I'm losing my mind. Just want a chance to figure it out. All we need is time. Things I hear you say, like I've heard it all before. Somewhere in a dream, something I have always known. Deja vu, they say, coincidence and nothing more. Still can't shake this feeling that I've known you once before. Still can't shake this feeling that I've known you once In another life, once upon a time, promises were made. This destiny is mine. In another life, I've seen this far before. Living out of faith. Together we was born. Feeling so electric, eyes locked in the flow. Wish I could remember all the lives I've lived before. All the crystals in the world, just please show me a sign. Let's go on a journey, we can travel back in time.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so one of the things I noticed Edit also does is basically build in these LFOs that will come out in the back half. And I think what that lets him do is basically have a break that only shows up in the second half. So like, kind of hear how that like comes in the second half, you know? And in fact, I could probably go so far as to just do that. And I wouldn't even have to do some of this. Right, so. Yeah, so basically now what I'm doing is setting up this track so that I'm kind of doing multiple things at once, so I'll slow down a little bit. I'm taking this break and I'm removing the first half because I don't know that I need it for this particular track. There's already breakbeats in it, so the only time I would use it is in the second half to sort of add a fill of some kind. So if I'm gonna start this track, and we'll bring this down a little bit. And so basically I'm designing a scene so that it does exactly what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do is create a fill of some kind. And one thing that I could do to enhance that is to design an LFO on the track itself, which lifts the low end just a little bit. And one thing I could do with that is... basically just design it so that it syncs up. So we're gonna test this out, and we're gonna mute this breakbeat first. Basically, I have it set up so that it's crossfading in from a muted A scene, but I'm gonna mute that for now so that we can hear this LFO in action. And what we're gonna do is assign this scene so that it increases the depth of the LFO. And I can't really hear it, to be honest. I think what I need to do is basically set this. Now you can hear it. Too fast, right? So now this is the right length, because I want it to end on the end of the bar. But now we just reduce how dramatic it is. And you can do something similar to the delay, for example. So like, let's say we take delay send and do the same exact, we could even take the same values for that. That was at 4 and 16. So let's go with 4, 16. And then set this to tricks and trig. We could even And I think you can't really hear it all that well, so I feel like if you because the thing is, this is only going to happen for like just a tiny bit of time, but what we want is for it to have an impact that we can hear. Hello, Negative Zeal. Welcome. Yeah, I've been busy doing a lot of different shit, but I'm back this week and putting together a DJ set for a potential show. Just want to have it ready and want to have a space where I can share some tracks without having to improvise all the time. Still very interested in improvising live. But also, there's so many songs that don't really get to be shared in a way that I enjoy. Like, if I'm just putting it up on Spotify, I have no idea if people heard it. Like, this song, for example, is out on Spotify. But if I get to perform it, then I can actually hear what people think of it. So, just playing with ways to add effects to it right now.
Every time I see you, got me wondering how we met before. Not just in this life, bigger than all we've ever known. Baby, you got me feeling like I'm losing my mind. Just want a chance to figure it out. All we need is time.
So the main difference between this and this other one. Oh yeah, so this is where this would come in. Hold on.
Feeling so electric, eyes locked, getting in the flow. Wish I could remember all the lives I've lived before. All the crystals in the world, just please show me a sign. Let's go on a journey, we can travel back in time. Somewhere in a dream.
cool. So I'll probably stop there with that track. And the big trick is figuring out how to transition these into one another. I saw Edit do this cool thing where he just had parts of the track that he was going to play set up in his set. So, if he was playing, if he would have like vocal slices and things like that he could trigger. And so that's definitely something that would make sense for what I'm doing. But I guess for now, I'm trying to see if I can get away with just transitioning using like the bass station, for example. Like, let's see if I was to, I have to like copy a bunch of shit over. And the good news is, I have 12 tracks here, right? And the problem is that they actually go from like 114 to 172. So the real question is, how am I going to get from one place to the next? Like, do I start with I should probably start with just like the more chill tracks. Like, this is probably one of the most chill. And then just like a matter of like ordering them and being like, okay, 4 and then 7. Super jitter, what's that? This is the kind of track that I think would be good. Oh yeah, glitchy effect. Yeah, you're right. Doing some kind of time lock thing. Yeah, I think what I want for this one, it's at 64. And I think what I want is to create like a yeah, so some kind of like rolling. And then we're just going to find a preset that works with that. Because what I want is for each song that I'm playing to have some kind of Minitaur patch / pattern that I'm able to play with. And yeah, it honestly might be fun to, Negative Zeal, you were saying like basically have tempo switches masked by delay and things like that, glitch, which like totally makes sense because the way that I was listening to Edit perform on the Octatrack, his tracks are very glitchy to begin with, so it's very easy to mask certain things. And I'm wondering if I could just cheat by basically using math and being like, okay, well 172 is the 4/4 of a different kind, like, you know, what's 3/4 of 172? It's like, what, 63? Oh shit. It'd be like half of something. But we could probably cheat it and be like, okay, so 63 is half of 172. No, it's not. 172 divided by 4 is 43. Then 43 times 3 is 86 is 129. So then I could go into this track by taking the triplet delay of this. We'll try that next. So basically, grab a piece of paper. No, so I'm basically saying that like I have a track that's 172, and 3/4 of 172 is 129. So I could take a triplet delay of 172 at the very end of the track. I could take a triplet delay of 172, and I believe I could get it to sound like the 4/4 of the 129 BPM track. Another one would be like 168, which is 42. So 168 divided by 4 is 42. 42 times 3 is 126. I don't have any tracks that are 126, but I could try those two and see how they sound against this 128 track and see which one sounds better, you know? And then just like adjust the tempo slightly at the very end. Or I could even loop, you know? We'll mess with it. We'll see. Oh yeah, this is the right one. I do. Well, I have it running through my analog heat actually. And the eventual goal is, you know, something pretty going on. Oh, sick. I did that on purpose. Just to give it some more interest, something that I can play with. Yeah, there's a few things that like sound really good here that may sound less good if I don't bring all my shit to a gig. Like the Octatrack is going into a compressor, a really nice compressor behind here, RNC, which is like $120, I think, but it really does a ton. Was it $120? Maybe it was 200. Okay, it was like 180. Yeah. And yeah, so if I was to, for example, take this and what if I wanted a different chain here? 808 chain? am I running arrangement here? No, I'm actually not. So I have, what I'm doing is, yeah, I should give you a quick overview of what's going on here. Give me just a second. Yeah, so what I have set up right now is a through machine for my Minitaur on track 7 and a kick chain here on 6. So let me just mute all these. Right, so basically this track is just for kicks. Then I have this track, which is just specifically for breaks. And one thing that I noticed about scenes is if you mute the crossfade on the scene here, any track that doesn't have the opposite, like the max, will default to letting in that beat. So you can use that as sort of a shorthand for if you're like playing, and then this is, by the way, my sort of like rhythm chain. Track 3 is my rhythm chain, so I can sort of play out things that I want, like. Just throw a little reverb on that. Oh, weird. What happened? All of a sudden, this isn't a through machine, so I need to reset it. Yeah, I mean, I have all these things memorized at this point because I do it so many times. Like, I almost always put, yeah, so to answer your question, track 3 is a rhythm chain of slices. And I actually got this from Samples from Mars. I would highly recommend giving them your money so that you don't have to make your own chains. And obviously, you know, if you want more specific chains, then you'll have to do that. But in my case, I'm making, oh, did I reload on accident? Oh, that would be so sad. Oh, I think I did. Shit. Okay. Anyway, yeah, so if I want to make my own chains, I can do that. I can go into Ableton and I can just set a tempo. Like, for example, this is set to 90 BPM. And it has, how many? 32 slices. So all you have to do is do the same thing. If you're in Ableton, you just put one in every, for example, bar. It doesn't even have to be every bar. It just has to be evenly spaced out to 32. And then once you set the tempo properly, you can slice it into 32 slices. And yeah, I basically focus on all the drum machine chains. I just have all of those. And so I decided that track 3 would kind of be my like slice thing, and then track 4 would be my preset rhythm. Although, I'm starting to wonder if I should set this to 3 so that this is just easier, you know, because it's at the bottom. It's just like physically easier to reach. But for now, we'll keep it where it is. And then tracks 1 and 2, I haven't fully decided what I want to do with, but I'm guessing, you know, moving between banks. I have 12 banks for each of my songs, 1 track per bank. I'm probably going to use tracks 1 and 2 as some way of transitioning from one song to the next. The problem is I have to figure out how I want my track order to be, and I don't really think that doing it in the Octatrack is the best way. I think Ableton probably makes the most sense for just efficiency reasons. You can just listen to it, audition it, figure out which keys work together, figure out which tempos might kind of gel. And it kind of has to be this like tandem thing where you're listening for certain moments that might transition well into each other. But I think there's also ways that you can do it where you basically have like certain songs just go into some kind of chord progression or loop that keeps them ambiguous so that you can switch over to the next. But these kinds of things I would have to trigger, I think, live, because I would want to know what I'm heading into to some extent, like going from one pattern to the next. Yeah. And based on what I saw Edit do, which a lot of this set was kind of inspired by watching Edit from Glitch Mob perform at like a small venue last week. Basically what I'm working on is finding a way to build each bank so that it has the things it needs for me to have fun with the track. Because I kind of watched him do this thing and I was like, oh, this is sick. You know, you can like say this is like the beginning of the track. Well, actually, let's take this out for now. Or maybe just slow it down. What's the first note in this? Right. Let's see if we can find a note that works with that. This might be the best. When in doubt, if you hear something that sounds good, you can always go up a fourth or a fifth, which is either 5 or 7 steps up. So like try 7. Nah, this is actually better. Like I could even just go like that and have like an LFO that's doing that. Let's see, filter width. This might honestly be my first track of the set because it's just so chill. Yeah, so say we start the song like this. And actually what I would probably do is take the filter on this. Just be kind of like... Oh, shit. Okay. What pat? Yeah, that was 10. Yeah, I did reset the part on accident. And... what's fun about this, too, is I can actually slowly LFO the filter on the delay, which would be kind of fun. And I could also pan it. Hopefully you'll hear that from where you are. Because if I have it set to cross, I can hear it. Fun. Yeah, so this might be like the intro, for example. And I could even, that's kind of why I have this thing here. I'm kind of working out some tricks I could use with the reverb pedal, like simple ones. For example, if I take the low end off of this reverb pedal, then the more I add the mix, there's a natural low cut. And then once I want to take it out, I just turn off. Slow down the pan a little bit. Yeah, so this is why I don't want this to be constant, because I feel like it's just like a little too... Honestly, what could be fun is just launching it. I don't know. It could be annoying to have to do that every once in a while. Let's just set it so that it's like... Let's set it to loop. Let's see if I can get this to work. That's kind of fun. Yeah, I'm basically trying to find a way that I can perform this track in particular without having to go to the track, where I can just be like, give me this. And then it kind of fades out on its own, you know? The problem is, like, the more specific these things get per track, the harder it is to remember, like, what the fuck I'm even doing. Which is why Edit keeps it simple, you know? He's like, okay, for this particular track, we're just, you know, each track is just, what does the crossfader do? Fun, you know? And it's just very simple. Yeah, this is pretty sick. So I probably would not want to spend time trying to actually P-lock these in, and I'd just be like, Yeah, and then we have to say goodbye for the next song, you know? It's like, now that I've done this cool thing, like, how do I get into the next section? And this is where things start to get tricky. So, but I think the first step is to find the excitement. And maybe that's just, you know, my bias. But that's like, you know, that track is like my favorite one so far to start with. Right, the other thing I wanted to try while we're here is going from this kind of like faster beat into a slower beat. And we talked about going from 172 to 129. Okay, let's try it. This is like the craziest track I've made, by the way. It's like, it's very wild.
Free falling, fall onto your radar. You're meant to be there. You're meant to be there. Listen, this and this and this. Been there, I've been scared. I let fear be tatted on my face, but my warrior spirit on the chase. Lay low, cause it's coming from the inside. Quit getting lost when you're trying to be whole. Running through the world like you're praying for a new one.
Oh shit. Okay. So sorry. I just found out that that 152 goes perfectly into 114. 114 is 3/4 of 152. So if my math is correct, I could potentially, and we're just gonna test this out because I've been talking about it a lot, and I'm just gonna see if it works. So let's just prep this. Going from 10 to, say, 10 to 1. And we're just going to try it. Yeah, we're basically going to say that we're using these scenes to lock, and the feedback is constant. Yeah, so basically I'm setting up both these scenes so that the feedback is constant, but my goal is to take this one and delay it so that am I doing my math right? We'll find out. Yeah, those should be 16th notes in 114, I think. Unless I'm supposed to divide it by 3, but like 4/3. I don't know. I don't think so. I think I just have to test stuff like this out because I'm not good enough at math to really visualize what I'm talking about. So first of all, we're going to take out this rhythm from here. And yeah. Just bear with me for a second. The plan is to go from bank 10, which is at 152 BPM, to bank 1, which is at 114 BPM. But to bridge that gap, I'm going to take a dotted 8th note delay, which will sound like either 8th notes or 16th notes in the 114 BPM, if my math is correct. So okay, let's try it. Oh, it changed. The tempo changed. Right, of course it did. Well, okay. That makes sense. So when I use delay and I have two different tempos per pattern, it's obviously going to shift tempos. And it actually does it right when I switch patterns, which is interesting because normally when you have parts and you don't have a trig to update the part, it won't necessarily change, but it does change tempo pretty much right on the dot when you switch patterns, which is good to know. So the alternative to this particular strategy would be to sample what I'm doing and get it to play in triplets somehow, which shouldn't be too hard. So let's just try this. We're just going to play this for a second and I'll meditate on it. Why is it not playing? Hold on. Is it because this delay is still set to lock, right? Yeah. Oh. I just had an idea. Dun, 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 dun. Is it possible? Could I pull this off? I feel like this would sound really stupid though. Yeah, it's not even in the... Yeah, because like, I'm just trying to think if I took this track. If I took this track and pasted it here, and I was to set it to slice, and yeah, so we're gonna skip ahead to so this is where I imagine this kind of turning into something else. is. Now, what is this tempo is the question. I guess I could tap it out. Oh great, it's 101, which is none of the tracks that I have. Very useful. Anyway, let's just listen to that track. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just trying to figure out how to get my Minitaur to make noise, which I've already... Why aren't you making noise? It's in there. It's showing it. Oh, is there some kind of... Nope. Nope, no P-locks on there. Through machine. Now if I was to set direct in, okay, so that's in, but for some reason it's not playing out of this track. What? Oh, is this set to lock? No, it's not. Okay. So many ways that it could go wrong. Oh. Okay. I don't know what this instrument is, but I'm switching it. Oh, that's cool. Let's do... Yeah, this is gonna be cool, I think. Going as crazy as I can. I'm really just saving this for the last bit here. What, 152 BPM? So I could have a breakbeat come in, which would definitely anchor this a little bit more. I could throw like a... I'm not using filter on my Minitaur very much. I could use like a flange though. I'm liking this sort of like... I feel like I'm hearing some sort of like... Yeah, some kind of way to like mute this shit so that it's not always happening. But it does sound pretty cool. This is where this would come in. Let's go by... Let's see if I'm getting this right, because I want it to switch trigs every note, but I want it to be different every note. So let's say random. It's not working the way I want it to. Well, what's interesting about this is like, you know, okay, so I have this MIDI sequence, which is only 6 steps long, right? So that's ba-ba-ba. I could do that same thing and set it to 6 as well. And even though, you know, that's not actually playing anything, it's just letting in the signal, it will trigger based on those notes. So hold. That's what it is. But I don't actually know if... I can't really perceive it because it's just so fast. Maybe if I took off the reverb. Oh yeah, I can hear that now. And the thing is, I could just set it so that it's... Yeah, there we go. That's cool. So what's happening is it's going... just picking a spot and staying there until the next time the... Yeah, I'm into that. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's save. And then you add some reverb, but the reverb is going to kind of center it a little more because it's in the middle. It's not actually... Yeah, it's like... You'd have to basically set the same LFO, which is such a waste of time. Yeah, so I think at the moment my plan is to just have it so that every time I have a new track, I just turn off the Minitaur myself, which, you know, an extra step, and I keep adding extra steps, and eventually I'll have to trim them again. But I like that because then I just know that there's something cool waiting, you know. And then I pressed pause and the whole thing stopped. One more time. Yeah, like, one of the things that I saw Edit do as well was just to not touch the track once it started. And I don't know if I have enough self-control for that. But I do think it's smart to just treat the transitions as the places where we play. It's just a matter of knowing confidently that those transitions will make it into the next song. So I think the first step for me is just finding things that sound cool, and then those transitions will be easier. Like, this is kind of the first step for me. And maybe I could have things in here like, what is this? That's kind of fun. If I can get the notes right. I made a set of kicks that I liked more than these. I'm going to find them. I think it was in a convoluted folder. Eesh, where would that be? Where would that be? Was it not in chains? Because this is... Oh, it is this one. Okay, yeah, okay. This is the one. I was just using a less cool... Yeah, it's like, it's so easy to want to make another track after this, you know? Less melodies, to be honest. Let's go over to the 60s. Yeah, this set is quickly becoming very confusing. But we're gonna go here and we're gonna find some rhythms that I've used in the past and throw them in. What do I want? Modular could be fun. Oh shit, yes. Now, what do I ground all of this with? Because it's all pretty crazy stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I'm thinking, let's say we have, do it every other time. Bum, bum, bum. So let's go with that. Oh yeah, so actually, why is it so low? What happened? Yes, there's a hold function on this. That's stupid. Sick. Really digging this now. Now, if I only had some kind of vocal, this would really tie things over. And maybe I do. Maybe I do. I almost certainly do. The real question is it the right tempo? I mean, 152 is hella fast. So... where is... where is the Susie analog vocal? Where is it? I need you. Pen? One shot? Is it in here? No. Spoken. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. No, it's not in here.
I want to elevate.
I mean, this is pretty fun too, actually. Let's see. Let's see if this works.
I want to who motherfucking representing here tonight. 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 I want to who motherfucking representing representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking represent. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want.
I'm pretty sure this is just the same thing.
I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking represent.
Yeah, it's literally the same loop.
I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight.
Yeah, so a few things going on. I really like that I can sort of trigger this on its own. Yeah, it's because it just kind of gives you a little bit more of something to do, you know? Yeah, it's almost like if I had this track to start and then I build out some beats and then the beats lead into something which is sort of pre-made, but then that thing leads into the next track. And then I just have to be, you know, pretty well aware of like what those things are and how to move from one to the next, and probably follow the same formula each time. Because one thing that about this song in particular is it kind of just it just ends. There's no like, it's not designed. I didn't like make a full version that could transition and stuff because I'm not a DJ, so I don't really. I mean, I have done that, but it doesn't come as naturally to me. And this was just literally a demo that I was playing with. So like this being the beginning, and yeah, so I would basically take all this stuff out. Oh, I would take this out, but then I would keep it in pattern 2. Yeah, so let's see how this works. Yeah, and then so then this might actually be not in this part. We'll see. Maybe I'd bring it in earlier so that you could kind of like tell what was coming. Yeah, so it doesn't come in there. Essentially, I'm just like, okay.
I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight.
This is where this starts to make sense. I don't know what happened, but it sounds kind of cool. And then I'd have to sort of trigger this live.
I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight. I want to know who motherfucking representing here tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure where to go from here. 152. Because you can, you know, if you go to this and you tell it to play like, oops, shit. Yeah, if you tell it to play like, what, halves, you can get some triplet stuff going in there. Let's make sure this is on phase. Actually, it would. Flange is better. Really digging this beat. Anyway, I think that's probably plenty of that. And it's sad because I thought I could find that other thing. Yeah, but oh wait, is this where it is? Nope. What are these? No idea where the hell that is. Okay. Well, thank you very much for chilling with me and just sort of listening to me making sense of this project. I'm slowly chipping away. I thought I'd be through with a little bit more than where I am right now, but I'm taking my time with it. It's pretty fun to just like build out ideas from the existing idea that was there. And I think I can make this all work eventually. I think what I should do is probably settle on a track list so that I'm not so ambiguous as to just be like, this could go into anything. No, it's like, what songs make sense, at least if not tempo-wise, key-wise, to play from one to the next. This could be songs that end with rhythm that can then be transitioned, DJ stuff. So I think I need to just do a bit more work there and organize my tracks based on what would make sense from one to the next. And then when I'm working on these songs, I'll have that in mind as to like, okay, this is going to lead into this other thing. And I think that'll help me kind of make sense of everything. I can also, I think one thing that I realized this time around also is that like, if I'm using, for example, delay on the master, anytime the tempo changes, that's going to shift, and I really don't want that. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just use a really long tail reverb with send on. And if I keep that for every pattern and every part, then I'll be able to sort of like do a really simple, just kind of like, I'll be able to go like this. Yeah, so I'll be able to kind of do, let's take that, and let's say I'm going backwards here. What is it, 74? Let's say 77. And I believe this should work, let's see. Something real basic like that. And then we're back over here, which yeah, okay. Something like that. But just, experimenting, like just repeating what I just said now, like delay for the master isn't going to work if you're changing tempos. So try something else. I mean, you know, I did so much work to do that, and I could have just done it on here. So, for example, if I just get used to using my reverb pedal that way. Oh, funny. I actually forgot to adjust this. Okay. So that's everything for today. It's been 2 hours, and I'm going to go do something else. So thank you very much for checking out the set. I'll probably keep working on it, and hopefully by next week-ish, I'll have something a little bit more fleshed out. The eventual goal is to just chain all of these 12 tracks together and just have these little transition-y beats that kind of work right off the bat, so that when I move from one track to the next, I have a transition. But again, I think my homework for this week is to figure out what the set list order is going to be. Thanks again for watching. I don't know that I'll be able to stream next week because I'll be traveling, but I'll probably bring this stuff just so I can work on it, and hopefully by the time I come back, we'll stay updated. I'll test it out. I'll see if it works, and maybe I'll stream. But thanks again. Peace.